Find the coordinates of the circumcenter of ABC with vertices A, 0, 3, B, 0, -1, and C, 6, -1. Well, let's just pretend that we have a nice little triangle here. So I'm going to draw the triangle. And there's two ways that you could describe what a circumcenter is. If and I'm not, as you can see by my drawing, I ain't good at this. If I were to try to draw a circle connecting these three dots, the circumcenter would be the complete center of a circle. Better yet, the circumcenter is also where my three perpendicular bisectors intercept. Now, a perpendicular bisector is you take a side, like this guy right here, you find the midpoint, which appears to be U, and you make a line perpendicular to it, going that way. You do it again. Find the midpoint, which appears to be U, and make a line perpendicular to it, which goes that way. And then we have these two lines intersecting at a point right there. Now, I know my answer. Okay? I know my answer. It's 3, 1. There it is. Done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the whole process anyway, because in all honesty, this is a very friendly triangle. It's very friendly. It's graphable. I gave you a graph. It's done. I don't have to think too much, but they're not always going to be this easy. So what I need to do is I need to come up with, so I'm just going to go through the motions, knowing my answer already, knowing what's going to happen. What I need to do is I need to find the equation for this blue line right here, and I need to find the equation for this red line right here. Find out where those two lines intersect. It'll be 3, 1, and when I'm done, I'm done. So let's go through the motions, okay? Blue. I need the midpoint of these 2 points, which is 0, 3 and 0, -1. So I need the midpoint of 0, 3 and 0, -1. And it has to be perpendicular to that as well. It has to be perpendicular to that as well. That's the equation that I need to come up with. The midpoint of 0, 3 and 0, -1 is the average of the x values. So the midpoint is the average of the x values, and the average of 0 and 0 is 0 plus 0 divided by 2, which is 0. And the average of my y values is 3 plus -1, 2. Divide that by 2, 1. My midpoint is 0, 1. Now, to find the slope, I could see it right here. But let me find the slope. The slope is going to be -1 minus 3 because I'm using the slope formula. So -1 minus 3 is -4 over 0 minus 0, which is undefined. So what I need is something perpendicular to that, and something that's perpendicular to a vertical line has a slope of 0. So y equals a slope of 0x plus b, which means my y-intercept, and my y-intercept is 1. So the equation of this guy is y equals 1. All right, so again, I went through the motions to show you how this is done. I'm not going to do that again. Okay, the equation of my red line here is a vertical line, and it goes through 3. So a vertical line is in the form x equals, going through 3 is 3. So now I have my two equations. Where does the equation y equals, or x equals 3 and y equals 1 intersect? How about at 3, 1? Just like I said it would. All right, so these problems have a tendency to get more complicated than this, but there you have it. And again, if you can just imagine that circle being drawn right here, that dot right there is the center. That's what circumcenter means.